Hey guys, it's me, it's Queen Onset Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and pass it on to everybody that you know. Please leave us a positive comment in the comment section. And if you would like to get a reading done, or if you want to chat with me on social media, or if you want to get some Ask an Aquarius merchandise, please check out underneath this video. Also, please become a patron on Patreon because we're starting a new season and I have so many cool things I'm going to be doing. So come over and meet us at Patreon. That link is underneath this video as well. All right, guys, today we're going to talk about something. I'm going to tell you something. Out of all of the people I talk to, the couples, the singles, the widows, the engaged, I talk to people from all over the world, all kinds of different relationship statuses, let's say. And what I've noticed about people is that what breaks people up is not always solely money or infidelity. You know, those things do happen, but I've noticed something that happens a little bit more frequently. I've noticed couples breaking up over a lack of connection. Okay, so the relationship might not be a bad one in some of these cases, but they just don't feel connected to the person. And connection comes from intimacy. So if you're in a relationship with somebody and you lack intimacy, a lot of times you'll lack connection. So today we're going to talk about ways to improve connection with your partner. Now, I got this list from at Centered Self Therapy on Instagram. And I love this list, so I'm going to read them to you and tell you what I think about them. Okay? All right, number one. The first one, ways to improve connection with your partner. The first one says, accept them for who they are. If your partner is within reason, accept them for who they are. What I'm saying is that some people you're not going to be able to accept them because they're toxic or they're abusive or they're negative. But most people, you can accept them for who they are. They might not be perfect because nobody is perfect. I ain't gonna say might not. They aren't perfect because nobody is perfect. None of us can be. Um, and they might do things you don't even like. There may be some things there, but if you can accept the person for who they are, you have a more of a chance that they will open up to you and they will connect with you. Communicate openly and honestly. This one is really big. I had a real big problem with this one myself. Communication is the most important part of connection. If you can't communicate with the person verbally and non-verbally, then you're not going to have a good relationship. And it says here openly and honestly. So if you're the kind of person who has a hard time with communication, I did too. I did too for a long time, and sometimes I still struggle with it. But if you have a problem with it, learn how to communicate. Communication can be taught. Get you some communication self help books. Go to therapy. Do something. Learn how to communicate. And this would be for anybody. I don't care if you're single or married, whoever you are, if you're watching this video, it will greatly improve your life if you communicate better. Period. And you can use it at work. You can use it with friends. You can use it with it's going to work across the board. So if you want to improve your connections, learn how to effectively communicate. Listen when they communicate their needs. So when your lover, your husband, your wife is talking to you and you pick up that they're communicating needs, pay attention. Put down whatever your tablet is doing or your phone and listen to them, because a lot of times our partners are telling us what they need and want, and we're not hearing it because we're distracted with work, distracted with the kids, distracted with our phone, Instagram, whatever. So please, that's a really important one. When your partner is communicating needs, and they're not always communicating needs, sometimes your partner might be talking about their shopping list or what's going on at work, But if you pick up like that's me, tune in and really be present with your partner. Spend time together free from distractions. I like this one a lot. I know couples that do date night. And when they do date night, they take their phones and turn their phones off. So for the entire date, if it's an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, they are focused on each other. In our cultures, many of our cultures, a lot of us are never tuned out. I know people who tell me it gives them anxiety to turn off their phone. I'm like, wow, our culture has gotten to a strange place because I remember when I didn't have a phone. I didn't get my first phone till college. So we've gotten to the point where we can't even do without them. It's crazy to me. But it's also a distraction. So if you can, I know some people are on call, they might have sick children, but whenever you can not be distracted and be present with your partner, that's going to build your connection. Make your relationship a priority. Relationships are important. I don't care if it's platonic or not. They're important. Otherwise, you wouldn't engage in them. You would just spend time by yourself. So, if you're in a relationship with somebody, make it a priority, especially if the person is in a romantic relationship with you. Now, this, it changes based on the relationship, how that priority looks. But at least, treat the person and the relationship like, I always say, like it's sacred. Because to me, that's what a relationship is, especially a romantic one. But all of your relationships really have a sacred component to them, a spiritual component to them. So I think that's really important. Respect each other's boundaries. Now, I know a couple, because this is really important, but I know a couple that the husband does not like going around the wife's family. Okay? So whenever there's an event, family event, something like that, the husband does not want to go. The wife is livid about this, and they fight about it every time. They've been together for 11 years. He has not gone, except for when he was dragged a few times, he has not gone to any of these events. And when I asked him why, he said because it's very clear that her family does not like him. They talk smack about him. They don't treat him very well, is the bottom line. So he doesn't want to go. So the wife does not respect this boundary. This is his boundary. He doesn't want to be there. So I told her, respect the boundary. Allow him, not even allow him. He don't want to go, so leave him alone. And while you're leaving him alone, when you are with your family, work on whatever the problem is that makes them dislike him. Because if the environment can stop being hostile, then homeboy would be open to going. So that's why I told her, respect the boundary, work on the problem behind the scenes. Try to fix it, and maybe in another 11 years, he might be open to going. Take responsibility when you're wrong. When you're wrong, just say I'm wrong and say I'm sorry. So many people have an issue with this. I see people all the time squirming with this one. If you're wrong, just admit it and apologize. It's so much easier to just do it that way. Give them the benefit of the doubt. Now, this is a trust issue right here. If you're unable to give someone the benefit of the doubt, to think, okay, maybe they're telling the truth. If you can't even go there, then 9 times out of 10, there's a major trust issue. Either there's a trust issue between the two of you and you have a reason not to trust them, or you just the kind of person who don't trust anybody, which is very common for Aquarius. So you have to look at trust if you're unable to give your partners and your relationships the benefit of the doubt. Let's see the next one. Talk about how to overcome your differences. It is inevitable that you and whoever your partner is are going to have differences. No two people agree 100% of the time. Maybe most of the time, but not 100% of the time. So when you have a difference of opinion or something along those lines, try to talk. That key word is talk. Not argue, not fight, not scream, not belittle. Talk. Okay? So talk about it. And you might be able to come to a decent compromise. But if you get angry and start yelling at each other, the likelihood goes down. Support and encourage them to pursue their goals. This is so important. I hear so many people talk about goals and their partner just crumble their goals. Their partner just be like, so many partners who just are not supportive. And I can understand if your partner is the kind of person who doesn't follow up on their goals, or who has a different goal every 2 weeks or something like that. I can see it being a little bit more difficult in those situations. But whatever your partner is doing, if they're trying to find a new job, or if your partner is trying to change careers, or if your partner has a business and they're struggling with it, support them and encourage them. And sometimes that support is just talking. Sometimes that support is just giving them ideas. And sometimes that support is really helping. Like maybe they need you to stuff envelopes, or they need you to hand out flyers, or, they need you to help do their social media, for example. If your partner is pursuing goals, support them, encourage them, help them with their goals. Because at the end of the day, most of those goals are going to probably have a serious and positive impact on your relationship. If your partner is creating a business from the ground up, if that business is successful, cha-ching, okay? And the whole family benefits from that. If your partner feels fulfilled in what they're doing, if they're happy with their life, everybody benefits from that. So support them, and encourage them. Let go of past issues and think about how you can better manage conflict in the future. This is a very important one too. A lot of us hold on to past issues. Um, One of my ex entanglements, I always get into this conversation whenever we talk, because I always talk about one day when he was flirting with this woman. I was on the phone with them, and I swore, I still swear to this day, he was flirting with this woman. And I realized one day, you need to let go of that. Like, just let go. Maybe he was flirting with her, maybe he wasn't. Let it go. And we do this, we hold on to issues. If somebody does something, if they cheat on us, if you want to stay with the person, you have to let go of the past issues. And if the issues repeat themselves, then you got to consider, should you stay in the relationship? Why are you going to stay with the person and keep throwing in their face the past issues? And a lot of us do this. I've done this. Like I just said, I've done it to more than one person. A lot of us do this. So if you're going to stay with the person, let go of the past issues and decide, if it says here, to manage better in the future. So, okay, in the future, what should I do differently? A lot of times when somebody has a grievance with me, I ask them, if we get into a conversation about it, I ask them, so what would you have me do differently? Because this might happen again. So if this happens again, what should I do differently? What would make this better for us? So letting go of those past issues is not easy, especially if they've hurt you. So you have to look at, if you can't let it go. If you can't let it go, if you're going to hold on to bitterness and resentment, I would say try couples therapy. That would be the best way to go. And if you can't let go of it, you got to really decide if you want to stay in this relationship, man. Because if you're staying in a relationship holding on to past issues, your relationship is stagnant. It's not moving forward. You're not trusting this person. You're not moving forward with this person. You're less connected with this person. So what are you really there for? Very important question. Be flexible and open to change. In a relationship, I talked about the stagnation. Stagnation is when it just don't move. You just don't do nothing. It's just the same thing, humdrum, day after day. So be open to change. Be flexible. Be open to trying different positions in the bedroom, or, different things like that, or going different places that you've never been before. Or if you eat every Thursday at TGI Fridays, maybe this week we try Chili's. I don't know. Spice it up. Throw in some change. One of the things that happens with couples is that things become so routine that they don't even have to think and have to think about it. It becomes real routine, and then the connection starts to dull. Practice self-care. There's nothing better than a healthy partner, and whatever ways that is, mind, body, spirit. It's nothing better than that. And it's easier to connect with a healthy person. So if I have, for instance, mental health issues, okay, I might have some. I need to practice self-care. I need to take my medicine, or I might need to go to therapy, or I might need to do whatever, you know? Self-care is all about taking care of yourself in any way, mind, body, spirit. And the better you take care of yourself, the better you show up as a partner, and the less your partner has to worry about you. Okay? So definitely both partners should be practicing self-care. Communicate your wants and needs clearly. I don't care if your partner is a mind reader. Communicate clearly. Tell them what you need. Tell them what you want. Be straight up about it. Don't beat around the bush. Don't drop hints. You know, because some people will say, well, he should know because I did this. Or she should know because I said that. Nah, be clear. If you want a certain thing, be clear about what you want. Don't expect them to figure it out by the little clues that you've dropped all over the living room. One of my friends was very angry because she wanted her girlfriend to buy her this ring. Okay? She really wanted this ring. It wasn't expensive and it was cute and she wanted it for her birthday. So 2 weeks before her birthday, she dropped the hint that she wanted this ring. Okay? She left it was like a little flyer or catalog or something like that, and left it. And she told her about it. And one day she left it on a computer. She left the ring in, you know, the website or the computer, you know. So the girlfriend, I don't know if she didn't notice or she wasn't paying attention, she was distracted or what. The girlfriend got her something totally different. And my friend was devastated. And I was like, dog, why didn't you just ask her? Why didn't you just send her the link? If it had been me, I would have sent her the Amazon link and been like, this is what I want for my birthday. Why would you drop little hints and hope that she saw them and got what you wanted? That's not a smart way to get what you want. So I always say, tell a person straight up exactly what you want. Avoid assumptions and unrealistic expectations. Yeah, don't assume, because you might assume that they're behaving a certain kind of way for one reason. I remember this woman was saying to me that her boyfriend ghosted her. Okay? So she assumed he was messing with another woman. All right? So she was like, you know what? F him. He in the street, you know, whatever the case is. A couple days later, she was like, you know what? Something doesn't feel right to me. You know, why did he ghost me? You know, something didn't feel right to her. So she called over to his mother's house. Come to find out, he bumped his head, passed out on the floor. Okay. His mother found him and he was in the hospital. And she felt like shit. And I laughed at her. Yeah, I did. Because she felt like shit because she thought that he was with another woman and the poor man was in the damn hospital. Now, why nobody called her, I don't know if they didn't know her, how long she had been dating him, whatever. But he was in the hospital for those 3 days that she thought he was ghosting her. So don't make assumptions. Like, really get to the bottom of things, you know? And unrealistic expectations. That's a tough one because we all think our expectations are realistic, right? So that's going to be a little bit tougher of one. But whenever you can, try to have realistic expectations. And what does that look like? It's really, in my opinion, and this is just an opinion of mine, having realistic expectations is just looking at a situation and seeing what is possible in that situation. That, you know, like, what could possibly happen here within reason? Some of us be thinking, oh, you know, all outside the box, which thinking outside the box is good. But when you go too far outside the box, then your expectations aren't realistic. And then when they don't do what you want them to do, your feelings are hurt. All right, guys, we have us 2 positive comments. The first one says, Anita F. Hey, Anita F. Anita said, 10-year mess with a Cancer. Never again. You were with a Cancer for 10 years? Girl. I was with a Cancer for 2 years in an entanglement. And I'm not going to say I would never do it again, because there is not one sign that I wouldn't give a chance. If I met somebody that was a Cancer and I liked them, I would give them a chance. It might not work out, but I would still try, you know? But I hear you. I was with a Cancer and it was not easy for me as an Aquarius. Now, some other signs might be easier. Some other Aquarius might find it to be easier, but it wasn't easy for me. But I also was not with a mentally healthy Cancer. So this is the thing. When you're with a person who's not healthy, it doesn't matter what their sign is, it's going to be problems. Che Hines, what's up, Che? Che said, yes, ma'am, I am the queen of blocking. This video was so on point. Look, sometimes you gotta block a person. You know, if they doing stupid shit, if they getting on your nerves, if they acting simple, they playing on your phone, you know, they want to argue, they want to be toxic, sometimes you gotta block them. So if you gotta block them, you gotta block them. And I hear people like kind of like getting angry about like, how dare you block me? If I had to block you, how dare you make me block you? Okay? How dare you have such behavior that I had to block you? That's the bottom line. So for me, if somebody puts me in the position where I need them to stop talking, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. And I don't care how they feel about it. Bottom line. All right, guys, come back soon because I got a lot more to say. See you later.